This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we reveal the truth about coaching girls and boys. And of course, we're doing some blind rankings on some pizza toppings. And 3, 2, 1, we will win to the Carnival Conference.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dammy.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, fresh from the Carnival Conference. I bet the breath in that room was awful. Can you imagine the stench in that room of just the sweat, the breath, everything all linked together?
Not
Oh
good.
my God, it will be horrific, wouldn't it? Oh, Jesus. I want to know how busy it was. I really do. It didn't look very busy, did it?
It didn't look busy, no.
I think it could have been the start of it, to be fair. We'll let them off, do you know? I mean, the ticket prices were a lot to be told to eat meat, weren't they?
What were the prices? I didn't go for a deep dive like you did.
Like 300 quid.
300 quid, were they?
2 days, 300 quid.
That's poor,
Why it needs to be 2 days, I've got no idea. I mean, I can't imagine they've got that much to talk about, but it was 3 days.
I'm playing around with my
Strange.
brightness.
Strange, that, isn't it? That Carnival conference is that. I mean, I just, I don't know, beggars belief. I mean, obviously, people are obviously going to be interested in it because it's kind of like a cult, isn't it? But to go to a conference on it? Like a conference?
It's a weird one, isn't it? I didn't really
Carnival
understand.
Conference, the UK's first Carnival Conference, Saturday the 14th and Sunday the 15th of September in the Peak District. It was 2 days, 200 plus attendees. It's got a star next to that. You know, like a little asterisk. So maybe that means, please note, conference places are strictly limited to 220 maximum. May not have got it then. Yeah.
May not.
So 250 quid it was for a basic single room B&B plus conference plus meals.
Oh, wonder what they're serving.
Wonder what they're having there. I saw. No, I didn't see one of the plates for someone. It just looked like a pile of turds. Yeah, it's. I mean, they sold out all the regular single, double, and twin rooms, so they had to arrange for extra stuff. So maybe it was fully booked. Yeah, it just like cretin after cretin after cretin in it. But Carnival Cam, funny enough, was there just as someone who was attending,
just
not
an
actually
attendee.
talking. He wasn't even talking. So I didn't think what sort of experts they did have talking if he wasn't even on the panel. Unbelievable.
Oh. And he's got to be like one of the biggest followings in the carnival community, no? Surely.
Maybe not. Maybe
I
not.
didn't click through. One of our regular listens, Luke, sent it to me. Obviously, yeah. I still follow Cam, but he doesn't hit my feed very often now.
You're not engaging enough with this stuff, mate.
No,
That's the problem.
so it's slightly annoying,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I just find things like this very strange. Let me have a little look, see if there's anything on their stories that they did. What you missed out on? No,
That's
didn't
it,
miss anything,
guys.
mate. Full day of eating on a carnival diet. Coach Carnival Cam. Over the weekend, I travelled to the Peak District to see a bunch of fucking morons.
He said that, did
Yeah.
he?
Yeah, can you imagine if he did? I mean, yeah, I mean, fair play to him. You know, he's obviously thriving.
Oh, I hope he took his raspberries. Is that
Yeah,
what
it's
he was
interesting
doing?
seeing his engagement going down, though, isn't it?
It
You know,
probably
people
is,
just
isn't
get
it?
bored of it. People just get bored. Just standard, isn't it?
They're like, oh, it's still not extreme. It's not extreme enough anymore. Bless him. Still going along.
So yeah, can you imagine? I just can imagine how bored. I mean, the first guy speaking is going to be like, "Yeah, so eat loads of meat." Okay, next one. Yeah, eat loads of meat. Ah, I can see where this is going.
I
Fucking
hope they
hell.
did. What avenues would you do? How can you train subpar? Uh,
Yeah, how can you make your training worse? How can you smell more? Make your training worse. Give yourself pre-diabetic blood sugar levels.
Make sure that everything in your fridge goes off really quickly, so you've got to eat
Yeah,
it as
make
rapid as
everything
possible.
look like utter crap when you make it.
Oh,
That's what.
bless me.
I mean, one of his latest videos has kind of gone not say viral, but it's got a lot of traction as always. The carnivore 3 cheeseburger pie
Oh, wow.
is basically cheese and mince in a dish.
3 cheeses.
So, yeah, three of them, 3 different times. Fucking joke. I thought I should go back to watching the guy. I do feel like I missed out
Do you really?
recently. It's just his little like student living room. Have you seen a video of
Yeah,
him sat in his living room eating his
he's
burger? It's just like
very student, isn't he?
it is just like there's nothing. There's no personality in the room. Do you know? And obviously there isn't because he hasn't got any either. So it's just him sat on a red sofa with a really boring chair in a corner. He is so boring. He can't even do anything to his living room to make it more exciting. Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, guys, I hope you had fun at Carnival Conference. Anyone who went and got some memorabilia, do make
Let me
sure to
know.
take a picture and tag us in it. I want to see your merch that you got from the day. I bet they were selling merch on the day, weren't they? I think it was, as you
Go.
can imagine, sponsored by meat companies and bone broth companies and all these sorts of
Bone
things.
broth. A lot of bone
Um,
broth out there.
Bone broth's good for you, mate. That, yeah, 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 yeah.
That's
Um,
true.
yeah, I'm surprised they don't even have to drink anything. Carnivals don't drink, do they? They just eat.
That's a good point. Are they allowed to drink? I'm assuming not.
Well, I mean, that's not meat, is it? So I don't think they should really. Um, yeah, anyway, so there we go. I mean, I've just seen carnivore meatball noodles as well. I mean, this sounds interesting. It's been that long since it's been on his page. Oh, he makes the little egg, doesn't he? The egg strips, the omelette strips of egg. That's noodles. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get off this page because it's actually annoying me seeing his face. So that's that. But yeah, it's the first UK carnivore conference, but there are the Carnivore Summit, which I can only assume is in America.
I
The
imagine so.
Carnivore Conference, Big Fat Challenge Carnivore Conference, Carnivore Gathering. Oh my God, in Spain, £600 a ticket. Oh, virtual summit, this one. World leading experts. Carnivore Cam isn't there. Hmm.
That's disappointing.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate, isn't it? Let me have a look at this. Carnival Conference, October 2024. So soon, if you want to go in Spain, let's have a look. Timings Monday the 21st to Friday the 25th. 5 days. There are just 24 rooms remaining. £2,200 pays for two people sharing a twin door room, including full conference access and meals for both. Let's do it, Tom. Me and you go together. Twin rooms.
Could you imagine?
Attendance and meals without accommodation. £450 per person. Only 2 out of 35 rooms left. I think that's scarcity. I think they're trying to do fake scarcity with that. There is no
You think?
way. There is no way.
Do you think
Oh,
it's like when the estate agent says, "Oh, we've had loads of viewings for this one today. Absolutely
literally.
loads, loads
Do you
of
reckon?
bids,
Yes,
loads
I
of
think so.
bids."
Yeah. Oh, it's hot property. This is really hot. Well, it's been on the market for 9 months. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, now when I inquire, there's
Uh,
four other people that want it. Sure, mate. Sure, there is. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? But yeah. So there you go, guys. I mean, as we know, this year is all about the carnivore. That's the biggest thing. Carnivore is huge this year. I just wonder what it'll be next year. What do you reckon? What do you reckon, Tom?
That's a
Well, I know
mad
it's a bit early for the 2025 prediction show, but
prediction show.
um, the nutrition stuff is definitely something we need to consider for next year. I still keep seeing Eddie Abu stuff, and he still is bragging about how he has his first meal day at 5 p.m. like he's some sort of hero for doing it. I don't understand, but he is.
It's probably because he got Alzheimer's and he just
Yeah, I think he
forgets.
just keeps forgetting. Just forgets.
But yeah, I must have left that out.
Oh
Left that bit out.
yeah, no, he didn't. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no. Sad.
Just sad. Poor lads. Anyway, what's been going on in your world, mate? Mm.
Not a lot, to be honest, mate. Back in swing of things. Mike got back to Dubai yesterday, or today, I suppose, really. And yeah, so we kind of had a morning together just to little catch up on all things
Cuddle?
business.
Cuddle?
Little cuddle,
Little
yeah, it was
cuddle?
nice. So yeah, no, that was good. So yeah, just get back into the groove of things now. So we've got a good couple of months now planning out the event in November. We've got in the UK, and then planning out our Dubai event as well in January. So just putting bits and pieces together for that, and then planning, of course, golf because that's the most important thing now coming to the season of golf. So me and Mike could go into Abu Dhabi this weekend to play golf for
I'm
2 days.
very excited about to. I just want to watch this.
I'm going to try and film as much as physically possible. But we will be with other people and all this sort of stuff. But I will do my best. In fact, I just need to make sure that I've got the cinematic feature on this phone. Otherwise, I need to get a new one. No, I have got it. I can film cinematic. Um, but I realized that my iPhone is really old. I think it's like 14 and there's like 16 out now. So I think I need to get the new 16.
I've got a 13. I'm still repping a
Wow.
13. I know. I just it's
You
just
know, because
passed me
nothing really
by.
changes in them now. I feel a bit like, oh, I don't really care.
Yeah,
Whereas
I'm like,
when I first got into it, we had like 4, 5, and 6. There were big changes each jump. You felt like you had
yeah,
to have it. Whereas now it just feels like, okay, the camera's like an extra 1 megapixel out of 1,000. Okay,
yeah.
brilliant. And then
Like
guess what? The battery is now even longer. Of course it is. That's what everything like.
it's just yeah, like we know like from doing like content and stuff, cinematic and it like goes in 4K 60 like or 30 or like
Yeah,
frames per minute and stuff. It's probably quite good enough.
yeah,
Um
literally. So
it's
yeah,
as good as gonna get for a while. And yeah, that's like I think it probably was introduced on the 13, so I've got that. But I used to do two iPhone jumps. Like I think I
yeah,
first got the 3GS and then I'd get the 5, then I got the 7. And then from the 7 I just went 7 to 10. So I let 3 go. So 7 to 10 and then 13. So in theory, if I'm gonna go on current trend, I should get the 16, but I'm not gonna.
yeah. You're not gonna?
No.
Think I'm gonna. I think I'm due one. It does look okay, but I mean, like, yeah, I just don't think it's nothing crazy about it, is it? It's just more a case
I
of,
think also because maybe because I've had my phone stolen a couple of times, it feels like I've had a new phone, even though it's
okay,
still the current phone. Like I've had
yeah,
an iPhone 13 three times.
okay, yeah, that is, yeah,
So
maybe
it
that is the
feels like
case.
I've got a new phone, but it's not a new phone.
Yeah, you see, I have to get one. I have to wait till I'm back in the UK to get one because over here they don't have certain apps because they don't allow FaceTime here.
Mm, yeah.
So they don't even have it installed on it. You can't even download it on it. So it's almost like, well, I don't want to get one here. I'll wait until I go back to the UK and get one then. Um, yeah,
Acting
that's the
like
only.
somebody FaceTimes him. Look at him. Look
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah. Like,
that.
to be fair, yeah, good point.
Jesus.
To be fair, good point, mate. Thanks for that. Thanks for rubbing that in, mate. That's
It's all
nice.
right. It's all right.
Um, yeah, I'm just seeing how much it costs. Oh, that's all right, isn't it? It's not too bad. 16 Pro Max. Always get the Max, mate. You gotta get the big one.
I've got the Pro Max, definitely. Big
Different
one.
colors now, though. What's this like? Desert titanium. No, it's all
I've
black,
got
isn't
a
it?
green one.
Green.
My
I
phone is
like black.
green.
Black. 512
Dark,
gigabytes. Don't need a
dark,
terabyte. That's too much.
dark British racing green, just in case I want to drive it through the forest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
See, I'm
happens.
gonna have to wait until I get back to the UK to get that now. Brilliant.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to talk about Iron Man, but yeah.
Oh, we're still going about the fucking Iron Man. All
I
right, you did
trained.
an
I
Iron Man.
no.
Well done.
I got such grief for putting a post. Mainly from my own clients. I was going because it was my first training session, my first gym session since I did it yesterday. And guess what, Dan? I'm sore. I'm sore.
You want a medal?
Yeah, go on.
Hey,
Go on. Here it is.
you got. You literally did get a medal. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Got the medal.
yeah, you did.
Got the medal. Won't go on about it. It's fine. It's fine. Mate, I've got my Iron Man review. I split it into two parts because I couldn't be able to cut it out. I was like, there's 12 minutes of content here. I was like, this would be a hard push to get it down to 45 seconds.
Yeah,
We'll do a two-parter. It's fine. That's good. That's how to make your content last for longer, guys. Good job. That's a good lesson.
yeah,
Um,
definitely. So what's the plan then, Tom? Going to the last call, we were talking last pod. Sorry, we were talking about whether you're going to do the full one. Have you decided yet?
I'm going to talk it through with my group that did it with me, but
Boring.
you know what I've been looking
Sheep,
at, Daniel,
sheeple,
is
sheeple. Just
look,
doing it because other people are doing it. Nope.
I thought you said the exact correct word there when you said cheap. Because I was looking
Expensive.
at the actual branded Iron Man. So the one I did was called Vitruvian. So that one I'll let everybody in the insider secret. I spent about £150 to enter that race. Um,
Hmm.
to do that 70.3. The actual branded Ironmans to do the half Ironman, so 70.3 with actual Ironman branded, £350. The full one is nearer £500. That's quite expensive, isn't
That is.
it? Right? Like, but it's not like, yeah. I'm trying to think of what it's the equivalent of, and I'm like, I don't know what it is the equivalent of. I was like, if I were to spend that much money on a round of golf, I wouldn't really. Like, I've not spent £350 on a round of golf ever.
Mm.
But I would hope I'm playing like, I don't know, fucking
I mean, I guess there's a part of it though where it's like it's the safety thing, isn't it? It's kind of like you kind of want to know that if something happens, that there's
yeah.
organizations there and they
There's
kind of have to pay for all these.
ambulance. There's
Yeah, do you know, like
the volunteers, all the other stuff. They're keeping your bike safe. They're giving you all this other crap. They've got lifeguards. They've
who pays to
got
close
yeah,
roads or
close
all that.
roads, all that jazz. Yeah, I know where it's going. I'm not questioning the funding of where the funding is going. I
Yeah, no, I just
understand
don't
the
think it. I just
logistics.
don't think it's that. I think I know it's a lot of money when you say that, but I think if you actually looked at it in the grand scheme of things, it's not a rip
Hmm.
off.
I was just like, fuck. Because I was like, oh, I'll try to do that. I'll try and do like maybe 170.3, and then I'll try and do an
Mm,
Ironman, and then a bunch of Olympics maybe. And I was like, I'm gonna pick and choose a little bit too more. Like
yeah.
the sprints are only between like 50 to 70 quid. So they're like, all
Mm.
right, cool. That's a day out. It's very nice. But yeah. So we'll see.
Like I said, because then there's like the Airbnbs, there's a travel, and it's like all of a sudden it
Right?
becomes
So yeah,
very
yeah. Like, because obviously
the
for the
gels, because that'd be about £1,000 in gels, wouldn't you?
gels, mate. I've got a fucking. They go off as well, so I've got so many. I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to touch them. Though. I'm like, I'm doing non-gelled runs and
Mate,
bikes for a while.
what was that noise? You know when you sat doing a podcast and you're the only adult in the house and you hear a big bang? That just happened in
That's.
the house. What is going on? I'm just going to mute myself.
Oh,
Tom's going to talk about his Iron Man for just 2 seconds, quick.
I'm no, I'm within a speculate to what's just happened, possibly to Dan's child or one of three dogs. I'm going for eaten by dinosaur. What was we speculated for a while for
The
what
the
was happening.
Hoover fell over. Isabel was in her bed and it wasn't
Uh,
her. Apparently, I was like,
okay.
of course it wasn't. But
Uh,
yeah, as you can imagine, that sound, a Hoover hitting the floor from a height was
so
pretty
we
awesome.
all thought that Isabel being eaten by a dinosaur. So
Yeah, I
that was
mean that's the next logical thing to think about. But no, the other reason I was slightly concerned is that today her new bed arrived and she got like one of these bunk beds with like a desk underneath it.
Oh
So as
yeah,
you can
yeah, yeah.
imagine,
I
as
remember
a
those.
parent, the thought is something's fallen from the top of that bunk bed down, and I was like, shit. So yeah, I was just doing my due diligence as a parent, but I just told her to pack it in and stop messing around and go to bed. So we're all good, I think, hopefully. Um, with that stuff. But yeah, no, I think people probably forget about that stuff with the Iron Man and things like that. But it's the thing that I couldn't get my head around with it all is the cost of all the stuff, like say the equipment and things like that. I just think that a lot of this stuff is just like people talk about golf being expensive. Do you know what I mean? And I'm kind of like, yeah, but you can also like get a half decent set of clubs, second hand, half decent bags. Like you can make it as expensive as you want. But I
Yeah,
always
yeah.
feel like with triathlon, it's kind of like you kind of have to have a light bike that can do all this stuff. And wetsuits aren't cheap, I
If
imagine.
you want to be okay, then yeah, it's like
Yeah.
okay, hell, but
It's almost like once you buy all the stuff, you can't do one triathlon and go, right, I did
I know,
it.
right? Like
It's like you have to probably do like 10 to kind of get the money's worth
to be
almost.
like fucking hell. Yeah, at least I didn't go straight down the rabbit hole of like buying a TT bike and being like, I can only really
Yeah.
use this for this. Like, but obviously over the last week, I have been down that rabbit hole and looking at TT bikes and
Yeah.
doing that kind of thing because I'm like, oh, I like my bike. I don't want to go get it refitted with aero bars. And then I can't really ride it out on the roads that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, if we won't go down that, but yes, probably we know you're going to peer pressure me over the next like few months to just
I'm
book
not gonna do
one.
anything, Tom. I'm not gonna do anything.
You're gonna be
I'm just
you've been
looking out
like
for it, mate.
you're a pussy, you're a pussy, you're a pussy.
Yeah, I'll be like,
Uh,
well, yeah, I think you should do it.
yeah.
I'll be looking at your time and being like, oh, I don't think that's a good time, really, Tom. I think you can do better than
No,
that.
it's not. Yeah, not
Do
a good
better than that.
time. I know in my head already for the 70.3, I know that I want to go under 5 hours. I know that's already there. I'm like, that's already been annoying me all the way, all the way to
I don't
whenever.
think I
And I
need to
was,
peer pressure you, Tom. I think it's already there in your own
yeah,
head.
it's already in
So
my, the amount of stuff that goes in my own head and I make up my own stories. It's yeah, I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. It's good. Anyway, mate. Yeah, but we'll talk about yeah, because obviously I've got testing that's going to come up in the very near future. I'm giving myself a week of just normal training, and then I think I'm going to test myself next week in the combine. Oh yeah, one of my clients sent me a this guy has obviously got a lot larger following than I do. Guy called Angus Bradley or something, and he's just his new product is the GPP combine. He's not stolen my stuff totally. But literally, in terms of, he was like, the branding is so, he's literally done like how I do my memes with like taking a head and put it on like a different body. Um, and then he's doing a GPP combine. Then it's 12 weeks of like, and then it's like a 5K run and other stuff. Like I have 12 different tests.
Someone
He's
mentioned this
put
guy to
together.
me the other day. Who was it?
I think there's quite a few. I follow him. I follow him anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I think he moves in a couple of similar circles that I know of. But he's very much like a. He's probably somebody that you would ask people to go look at because he's very personality driven on his content.
Mm.
But he's
That's why
quite.
someone followed him and said that they liked
Yeah,
his stuff.
I
Um,
find him a little bit too salty. He's a
Salty.
bit aggressive sometimes in like that's fucking shit and like the kind of the S&C kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously S&C
Superiority
back.
complex. Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
One of those
Mm.
guys. Yeah.
Mm. One of my clients sent it to me, and I was like, "It's all right. If he calls it combine coaching, I can go after him because I've got the IP." But so, and if he does events for it, then I've got the IP. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
because yeah, so I registered that when yeah, Chloe told me to. She was like, "Yeah, you probably do that because you don't want everybody to steal it whilst you're doing everything." So I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I think you can call it GPP. And as long as you're not doing the exact same tests, then I think you're all right. So,
And is he?
interesting. No, he's not. No,
That's all right.
no. But it's a hard thing to be like, all right, you're not allowed to do a vertical jump. Like,
Yeah.
no.
It's more just
I'm
the
never
idea,
gonna.
isn't it? It
Yeah,
just
it's
gets
just
annoying.
so it's just like, all right, mate. No. I know there's plenty of people that
Yeah, we heard
obviously.
of a Mike was telling me today that one of the people that copied our members group has it completely flopped and they've stopped talking about it and shut it down. Doesn't have a thing anymore. I love that.
Love that.
Um, yeah, yeah. It's just people are so unoriginal with their ideas, aren't they? It's just like
Yeah.
again, like a lot of his stuff has been based around pliers and strength for a little while, but it looks a bit. So you kind of go, well, maybe he's just kind of like gone.
Yeah, well, I
Nonsense.
actually like I saved one of his posts because he was talking about what would be a good like parameter for testing for most of the population, and I was like, I agreed it with it, and it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was like those 5 or 6 tests, and I was like, I wouldn't say it was. I was like those ones. I was like, I don't think it gives you the general outlook of everything because
Mm.
obviously I played around with mine quite a lot, but I've got 12 tests compared to 5, so I was like, yeah, obviously mine's going to be a little bit more in depth, let's say, but I've done mine in the basis of I will have a day to like an event day to do it instead of yeah,
Yeah.
and it'll be like a bit more fun, so be interesting.
Mm.
But yeah, very fun. No. But that leads me on to a conversation we had the back end of last week was the whole title of this podcast. We've gotten around to the title. It's been 22 minutes.
That's pretty quick for us.
It's pretty good. It's pretty quick. We could go on to a different thing, which I've written down is I wanted you to blind rank some pizza toppings because I've been thinking about
Go
pizza
on then.
today.
Fancy a pizza now, you
So,
said that.
so, mate, so do I. Like, well, actually, number one. So I either want a pizza because I'm like, oof, because me and my client she's going to Detroit and Detroit style pizza is awesome. I don't know if you had any Detroit style pizza, but it's so good.
Is that the deep dish one, like the square
It's
one, square tin with the
square,
crispy edge?
square. Yes, yeah,
Edge,
yeah.
yeah. I
So
need to
good.
see if anywhere in Dubai does it.
Yeah, obviously
Actually,
we've got
it
it in
must
London,
do.
and it's like absolutely banging.
Yeah.
There's 2 places called Detroit
Remember
Pizza.
John Clark used to do it, didn't he? At his place, he used to have.
Yeah, so good. She's going to Detroit, so I was like, get that. She won't have it.
Yeah, it's probably
And
gonna
then I
be
was
pretty
like,
good there.
oh, and then I was like, oh, I really want some Chicago. Oh, now I want this. So it got me on pizza. But Dan, did you see Burger and Beyond? I might order Burger and Beyond because they have been voted the 6th best burger in the world.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Pretty fucking good. Obviously, the number one in the UK, but
Yeah,
and is that the burger that we normally would name best burger? Yes. I trust
yeah.
our opinions. I think that is basically the takeaway. Yeah.
Oh, see, this is an American square pizza. I don't think it's actually Detroit. It says New York City's favorite square pizzas,
Nah, that's not
a
it.
thick free-coat edge crust. I think it's not. Doesn't look as thick as a Detroit pizza, you know?
Like, I've got
Oh
a
my
really
God,
good
no.
picture
I
of a
want one
Detroit
now. I
pizza.
actually am hungry now and I want one.
Just go on Deliveroo, see what you can get.
I'm looking around now, yeah. Detroit style pizza, Dubai. Let's see what comes up. Go on then, let's do the pizza toppings first because I'm hungry
All
now.
right. How many should we rank?
Oh, how many do you want to rank?
Let's do
10?
six. Six is a nice number.
Ooh,
10? Fucking hell.
6.
We'll be here all day.
Oh no, it is
We-
Detroit
You're
style pizza.
you're
It's
you're
fine.
than a blind rank them, Daniel. So you're gonna fuck it
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
I'm good. Oh, yeah, that's the
As
whole
you
point of the
normally
game,
as you
isn't it?
normally as you normally do. As you normally do. It's fine. Yeah, do the games. It's fine. So I've gone to the reliable website, and this is Papa John's. So they should know a couple of things about pizza. The UK's 10 most popular pizza toppings. So I'm just going to select a random eight. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how wrong Dan is.
Let's
Uh,
go.
let's go. So obviously 1 to 6, one being, I'm assuming you're the
Best.
best one, the best one, but we'll go randomly across here. All right. So pineapple.
6.
Oh, it's gone hard early. You're not a pineapple guy? Not a pineapple guy.
Obviously not.
No, Jesus. I really want to fuck you up. No. This is obviously from the. I'm not. People are like, what? Stop. Give different ones. I'm using the list from Papa John's. All right. All right. Where are we going? Mushrooms.
3. Okay, mushrooms.
Three.
Yeah. I'm okay, mushrooms. I quite like a mushroom on pizza.
That's high. That.
Yeah, I like a mushroom on pizza.
Mm. All right. Tomato.
As in like tomatoes, not the sauce.
I think it's as in the
Tomatoes, as in the
tomatoes.
whole tomato. Yeah, 5. 100%. Awful. In fact, they'd be worse than pineapple if I actually done it properly, but
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I
Do
don't
you
like
never
tomatoes.
like a little one of those little
No.
ones, sun-dried tomatoes on them? I quite like sun-dried tomatoes. I'm not like
Mm,
beefsteak tomatoes can fucking get in the bin. Those ones are like
yeah,
big
or even
tomatoes.
cherry ones, I'm not a fan of them.
I like
Sun-dried are
cherry.
okay.
I
Sun-dried are
like I
okay.
like I like cherries. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I'm
good.
happy with this ranking so far, mate. I'm more than happy with this so far.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go for the big one. Pepperoni.
1.
One. There
Nothing's
we go.
beating it.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was
Nothing's
coming.
beating it, is it? That is the pizza topping of gods right there.
It's just the one in it. So
Yeah.
yeah, where are we going? We're going with jalapenos.
Ooh, I don't like them. 4.
Oh, four jalapenos.
Yeah. And again,
Really?
yeah, those bottom 3 are definitely in the bottom. They'd be in the bottom 20 as well.
Oh, and then we'll go off this list. I'm scrolling through. Let's go for a simple one. Is sweet corn. Let's got to go for
I'm
number
happy with
two.
that being 2. I'm happy with that. I would actually be happy with a pepperoni and sweet corn and mushroom pizza. 100% out of all those toppings, mate. Top 3, I'll take them all on leave those bottom 3 in the bin and go anywhere else. I actually think that's probably one of the best blind rankings I've ever done. And that's probably
Ever done?
actually how I would have. That isn't close to how I would have actually picked them
Really?
for like if I'd have just been had all of them available. Pineapple would probably go above tomato and jalapenos, to be honest. But I'm not bothered about it being bottom either because I just think those bottom 3 are just the worst.
So it's
Easy.
interesting. So this was the top 10. Like, yeah, top 10. Like mushrooms, onions.
Mm,
Onions are pretty much going to be on anything. Ham,
yeah.
pepperoni, pineapple, sweet corn, tomato, jalapenos, spinach, and then fish. I'm assuming it's anchovies and tuna, right? So
Yeah,
those
again,
are
I
the
don't
only
mind those on there too much, to be fair.
anchovies. Fucking gross. No, I'm not having
Just
that
salty
on
though, isn't it?
pizza.
Just
It's just
salty
yeah, it's just
pizza.
salt. I don't want salty fish on my pizza.
Not too bad.
I'm so boring with my. I will have pretty much any pizza, but I will nearly always order like double pepperoni. I'm just like, give me
I just
that.
think it's just such a classic of like when it's done well, it's so good. Like it's
It's
just like
so
having a cheeseburger, isn't it? It's a
simple. It's
cheeseburger. It's
just
like don't
like
fuck up you can't fuck up a cheeseburger, right? It's the same with pepperoni pizza. You can't
yeah,
fuck it up, in my opinion. It's like,
yeah,
and if you do, I know it's a really bad pizza.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
You can't go wrong with that, can you? All right, let's get on
What
to
are
the
the
actual
Detroit
topic.
style ones? What do they do? They do pepperoni mainly.
Detroit.
What's
Yeah,
the famous Detroit ones?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they do. I don't know whether
Probably the same, but
um Detroit Pub Pizza. I don't know whether they classically do like endure and stuff like that. That
I wouldn't be sure if they did more cheesy ones because the crust is it Parmesan crust? Is it? Is it the cheese
something like
Parmesan
that.
that's on the
Yeah.
corners?
Mm.
I'm probably going to have to try one now as well, which is annoying. I'm going to have to go on Deliveroo and make sure that I get one at some point, just to test it out,
Where's the menu?
because
Or
they do look good.
order, order, delivery. Oh, I have to sign up.
Oh, no one wants to do that.
Oh no. Um, write my
Don't sign up.
postcode.
That's
Not
unnecessary.
not say the postcode out loud.
Yeah, say that out loud.
Log in. I don't want to log in. Confirm
Got to log
pickup.
in, Tom.
Islington. Pick a time slot. Sure. Shop now. All right. That was crazy. Oh yeah, this place also has the deep fried lasagna. I think I've sent that to you before, haven't I?
That sounds pretty good.
It's fucking incredible. Yeah, deep fried lasagna. So Detroit and London got classic pepperoni, of course. They got
Yeah.
Detroit regular. Don't even know what that means. I'm salivating as I read this, man.
Mm.
Maui Wowie, Cadillac, Supreme. Supreme's pretty normal, isn't it? Let's click on the Detroit reg and see what's on that one. Detroit cheese blend, double pepperoni, jalapeno, mozzarella, honey, parsley, and parmesan. That's pretty much my perfect pizza, if I'm honest.
I was about to say,
Right.
yeah, I'd take that.
Mm.
Yeah, so obviously
But
pepperoni hype is big with the Detroit pizzas. I'm cool with that. I'm down with
yeah,
that.
I'm good.
More
I'm
than happy
good.
with
Go there. Detroit Pizza. There's one in Islington and there's one in Shoreditch. So go there,
that.
mate.
There you go.
Anyway, girls versus boys. This was something I was going to just cover a little bit because I think it'll be interesting from Daniel from a business style of point of view. And I can talk to it from a PT coaching, as if Dan's never coached in his life.
Mm.
But especially from a testing, let's say a testing point of view, maybe dealing with not numbers, but I think against like parameters themselves. Um, and it seems to me there's obviously exceptions to the rule. Most of my clients are of it, otherwise they wouldn't be with me. But especially on the combine, let's say, which it is obviously optional to do testing every 8 weeks, but is also a learning experience. Hence why I've done
Mm.
all fucking a year prep for fucking doing triathlon. I didn't. I did it because I wanted a challenge and to learn how to do the prep, and it's something that I'm interested in and stuff like that. Um, but it does seem that lads tend to not want to test themselves,
Mm.
compared to girls quite like to test themselves.
Mm.
Um, and we'll come back with the data. And it is normally a case of, yeah, they're like, I would assume there it's maybe the fear of failure
Yep.
that is kind of in there and the fear of not being quite as good as you think you are, or especially with my combine and stuff, they've got no, they would have done similar tests before or whatever. They maybe they're thinking, oh, I'm not going to be able to work on my weaknesses, or they're like, they don't want to know. And obviously, like all of my clients know that if I don't test, I don't particularly know where your weaknesses are because that is the biggest key indicator for me. Like we got all this, we're gonna go, we're gonna peak for it, we're gonna try and do this. All it
Mm.
ramps up towards that for 12 weeks. Yes, I can look at certain things. I know where your weaknesses tend to lie and previous industry injuries tend to lie and stuff like that. But it's such a key indicator. And it's usually the lads that will be like, oh, or just on the combine, not my one-to-one clients at all. They will not do the full testing. And they might do like bits and bobs of it, or certainly the things that they like enjoy doing. I'm like, it's not the point. It's time to put yourself being uncomfortable and not be in your comfort zone. I caveat that with the girls, and I've got some girls absolutely fucking crushing. And this is so they're in the second combine phase in this group, and they're doing a strength endurance combine. So this is like 10 RMs, this is like WODs, stuff like that. All of the girls are doing it and they're all
Mm.
crushing it. And I've set a new 10. They've taken the positive, have gone, I've just set a new 10 RM pull up PR. I've never fucking done one before, but they've used it as content. They've like gone like this. Yeah, I've smashed this, and now I'm doing this deadlift 10 RMs. I've never done it before, so let's see how it is. I don't think many of the guys would have done a 10 RM before, stuff like that. So it's quite interesting to how they just the mindset of how they maybe we talk ourselves out of it. But I don't know. I find it interesting to test myself. Like
I
that's
think it's
why I
an
do it.
accountability issue. I think it's that guys don't have a sense of accountability in a group. I feel like girls do.
Mm,
I think whenever I've done group stuff in the past, I always feel like the guys don't really use the community vibe as much as the females do. I think that men see it as a competition against other men, whereas women see it as doing something together a little bit more. Again, I know that in your group it's not as much about it, but maybe just from an evolutionary standpoint. Like you said, it's more of a, well, if I'm not going to be the top one in the group, I'm not going to bother trying.
yeah.
Kind of vibe to it a little bit. Um, and I would also say as well, like, I don't know if you're ready to segue into business stuff with it, but
Yeah,
um,
we can. But I
I
feel
would
like
say that,
if everybody had that aspect, why the fuck would I bother doing a fucking 70.3? I know I'm not gonna win. Like,
yeah,
there's no chance of me winning any of the triathlons I've done this year, or next year, or the
I
year
feel
after that.
like
But it's a challenge.
the guys in business, I think they compare themselves to other people a lot more than the females do. I think
Yeah.
females are a little bit more like, I'm just doing what I'm doing. Um, I do tend to think that the guys overthink stuff, think they should be further ahead than they are, feel like they should be somewhere they're not, and girls are a little bit more. This is a generalization, of course. Like I don't want you to think that there's no one that does it. Like obviously
No,
there are,
100%.
but they do tend to compare a little bit less to what other people are doing. Um,
Yeah.
and use that as a benchmark of success. Do you know what I mean? They kind of look back over their old stuff and look back at where they're coming from, whereas guys will be like, yeah, but I'm still not at that level yet, so I'm nowhere near. Like, I'm still not good enough. And it's like, dude, you just doubled your business. Yeah, but it's not where so and so is. Like, who mentioned so and so? Well, yeah, but I just see his stuff and I'm like, oh, all right. Guys do that a little bit more. I think there's a little bit more like looking over the garden fence a little bit more with guys than girls.
Mhm.
As a general rule. Um, and I think that girls are a lot happier talking about themselves than guys are. I think girls, again as a generality, they're happier to talk about their own progress, what they're going through, how they're feeling, being vulnerable, opening up. Guys are like not prepared to do that as much, or not seen to do. Again, I guess that's a bit of a population issue as well. I don't think guys are particularly great open up anyway. Um, but even about like fitness and nutrition and their own fat loss and stuff like that. They're only happy to share that they struggled with something once they've completed it. Like, oh yeah, I was struggling with my weight and I was struggling with how I was feeling about it, but I did this and this is where I'm at now. Whereas girls will say, I'm feeling like this now and this is how I'm going to fix it. And they'll show you the process from the start to the beginning. Whereas guys only really share that once they've got to the end a little bit more. Again, as a
Yeah.
general rule. Again, which links to the same thing. I think it links to that. It's like they're only going to talk about the combine results once they've done it. And if they're not going to think they're going to do it, they won't bother trying. Um, I think guys are very much like, again, in the combine, let's say, for example, you did the starting test. I don't know how you do it, to be fair, but let's say you had all those starting 10 rep maxes. If they weren't near the top of the list at the start, they won't bother. Oh, there's someone else better than me. What's the point?
Yeah.
I feel like, again, a generality, that's the feeling I get. Not
So
exclusively, but as
so
a
I don't do
general.
it exactly like that, but we you do 8 weeks of training prior to testing. So it's not like
Mm,
you're going in cold. Um, but there will be definitely an accountability factor of like, oh shit, I haven't done the training. It's like
yeah,
I haven't revised for this test. Therefore, I
yeah,
know I'm going to do badly, so I'm not even going to bother doing it.
yeah,
That kind of sensation, um, which which is obviously human nature, right? Uh, but it's just an interesting thing, and it's kind of like just put it out there, guys, step up. If you want to fucking prove me
yeah,
wrong, do it. I feel like it's such a and you putting your like you testing yourself and putting it out there, making feel uncomfortable, and people, it will yeah, it sets you apart. Like it's something for you to
mm,
talk about, and definitely resonates with. I don't. It's yeah, all the guys that test with me obviously do far better than that don't because they have parameters and stuff to work on. And I can be like, look, if I have your testing, I can help you. If I don't, I've got to trawl through my all your data for like where you're looking for and look for correlations and stuff. And that's
Mm.
honestly for the like with that, not really worth my time. So I'm like, all right, I need you to do this. This is why we peaked. This is why we're testing. Because guess what? When we're going for events and you want to get that kind of feeling, that's what I'm trying to invoke. That feeling of like it matters, it's important, and like that feeling of pride. And I want people to feel
Yeah.
proud once they've hit something and done something they haven't done before. That's the whole sensation of why, well, sorry, 70.3. I was proud that I fucking did it. And I was like, that was the thing. Fucking Dan's creasing up that I was
I was
proud of
just about
myself.
to take the piss at you and then breathed in too quick, and I've just stopped joking. So now the time is gone. Oh, that's annoying.
But yeah, that's the one thing we try to go for. But I think women are proud of what they fucking do when they achieve physical goals rather than
Yeah.
guys, and they'll shout about it. Maybe yeah, that definitely probably is like their community is probably a little bit stronger and like you go
Yeah.
girl. Me and Dan do that
As
all
much as we
together.
joke about it, yeah, I mean, we love that. We always say "go girl" to each other. As much as we joke about it, I definitely think there is an element to that where it is that
Yeah,
element. They do have that general support, whereas guys are a bit more again their competition effectively,
yeah.
which I think
See?
is yeah, it's something to
I
think
think
about
I
certainly. And
think it's
I
something
just think
for
guys need to just drop the ego with it. It is that it's a pride thing, it's an ego thing. A lot
yeah,
of the time with it, we're all the same, but I think it's just standing in the way of so much. And I think again, I see it in business a lot. It's like the pride of oh, but I put all this work into this style of content. Yeah, but it's shit. So I don't care. Drop the ego, start
yeah.
doing it differently. Like um, yeah, I think there's a bit of that.
It's interesting. I find it interesting, but yeah, there's
Yeah,
chat.
there's definitely nothing I would say around differences around like how hard people work or the effort they put in
No,
any of that
that's the
jazz. It's
thing.
not anything to do with that. It's more just I think like you said, it's the realization of like, oh, that's not what I wanted, or that's not where I want to be,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
that's not good
It's
enough.
it's like
It's
opening
the
your
it's the
exam results, isn't
perception of
it?
it all. It's
Like,
the
oh,
perception of it, isn't it? It's like, oh, I can improve on that. This isn't good enough.
yeah,
Girls go, I can improve on that. Oh, I can't wait. Whereas guys go, that's not good enough. It's like, okay.
yeah.
I think that's half the problem is the perception of it.
It's definitely yeah that way of looking at things. Because yeah, I have a massive go at some of the people who will focus on and I know one girl. This is a girl that I talk to, and but also with their coaches, they would always go to, "Oh, I'm not good at this. Oh, I'm
Mm,
not good at that." And I'm like, "Can we focus what you are fucking good at, please? Like,
yeah.
you've not said this once to me. Like, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. I'm not." It's like, well,
Mm,
fucking hell. All right, well, you're fucking incredible at this, and let's go and do that. Well done. Instead of
yeah.
this like fucking negative kind of sandwich thing, but which is more correlation to guys of like that needs to improve. I'm like, okay, cool, but yeah, your deadlift was fucking mad. Like that's awesome. Like you still
Mm.
managed to like put on like
Well,
20 kilos, something like that.
we're also guilty of it. I know I'm guilty of it with golf, right? And you
Yeah,
always say the same thing of like, yeah, but what were the three shots that you hit really well and loved? And it's like you remember that
yeah,
feeling because that's the thing that comes gets you coming back, and it is the thing you always come back to. Um, Within that, and remembering that there's always going to be something that went wrong, always. But you go, well, yeah, what was good though? What are the best parts of it? And I think it's the same with business. I'm sitting talking to clients all the time about it. They moan, oh, I only got 20 people on my group coaching. Okay, 20 people have paid you money to help them. That's amazing.
yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's not 30, is it? No, but it's also not 10 though, is it? So why are we always focused on that? And again, girls tend to be a lot better with that than guys as well, is that being grateful for it and all those things a little bit more. So I think guys in particular do need to check themselves with that as much as they can. Um, yeah, it's definitely a trait I see in guys a little bit more.
Interesting. Very interesting. But
Yeah.
yes, there's more events and more stuff like that, and more Hyroxes and more park runs and more 5Ks and more 10Ks and stuff. So there's more chances for people to test themselves. So I think, yeah, go do it. Go fucking do it.
Go
There's lots
fucking
of
do it, lads. Come
and
on.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. But it's the only way, like, yeah, it's just putting it for the guys out there or the people who don't test themselves in the gym and
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, I don't know where I am at, or that kind of thing. It's the kind of not looking at your bank account kind of thing. And
Yes.
I'm like, no, I need to know. Every now and again, I need to know where you're at. And I do it through testing, unfortunately. And guess what? What do we do in pro sports? we tested 4 times a year. We had these batch of tests, and we used to be like, all right, it's these aren't that important fixtures, or can we test them slightly here, like a Bronco
Yeah.
test or something like that, so I know where you're at. Like
Mm.
otherwise, I can't make the informed decision to take you in the right direction, and that's what you're playing for in terms of coaching. I'm like, I need to see that data. So yeah, Ugh. Yeah, all
For
good.
sure.
Hi mate, type 44. Any
Oh,
other
there we go.
business on that?
Not for me. No, we are all good, mate, I think.
No.
Yeah.
If you made it to the end of this one, combine starts next week. You literally have, when this comes out, I think 4, 5 days, 5 days maybe, 5 days to sign up. Payment links will
Five
be, I
days.
know, right? Fucking
Come around quick,
shocking.
that, innit?
I know, it's great. And then it'll be closed for 10 weeks. Something like that. You won't be able to sign up again until like end November, I think. End November? Yeah, something like that. So, yeah, jump in. Wonderful. Yeah, no business from me. And thanks for listening, guys. We will catch you next week.
See you later.